Hello, everyone. Welcome to the fight predictions for UFC Fight Night Gilbert Burns versus Tyron Woodley. I'm Danty Analysis, zooming in with my guest Monique from Combat Sports Unwrapped. How you doing?
Hey, I'm good, thank you. I mean, I'm excited just because, right now, I'm a sports fan, but MMA is my favorite sport, and pretty much that's the only sport right
Oh, you got cut up a little bit. Uh oh. Oh.
now that
Oh wait, I think you
I,
got cut up a little bit. Oh wait.
yeah,
Oh, sorry, Mo. You got cut off a little bit. Could you repeat that?
yeah. So I said I was excited because I'm like a huge sports fan, and so like in general, MMA is my favorite sport. So I was excited that at least one sport that I like is broadcasting anything.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm all about these fight nights. Like I said, all I care about is that everybody's healthy, nobody gets COVID. Everybody stays safe.
Yep, absolutely. All right, and with that, let's go into the card. Starting with the prelims, Chris Gutierrez versus Vince Morales. Vince Morales. This will just be a starter fight for the prelim card. These are guys are coming off wins by decision, so they're just trying to come into this fight with, I guess, either trying to get another win in the column or try to make a statement just to climb up the ranks. So, how do you see this going?
So it's funny because I see both of them very equally in terms
Mm-hmm.
of skill and, like the records. I mean, Chris is pretty much like he's had maybe what five more fights, 5 or 6 more fights than Morales, and like Morales to me was like to me is up and coming. So I mean, just because of that, I'm really, I'm really leaning towards Morales. But like Chris has obviously more experience and has fought more people, so you never know what's going to happen.
Right. And yeah, and yeah, and I'm a grappler at heart, so I have a little bit of bias, but with Vince Morales' reach, and he has quite a few, and he has a submission victories under his belt, so I think he'll have a slight advantage going into this fight against Gutierrez. But with that said, I think that's what Gutierrez will try to use his height in order to keep the distance between him and Moraes. So with that said, I think for this I'll go with Vince Moraes. Vince Morales. See, I've been watching Mar Moraes too much,
Yeah,
so
I
I'll
know,
go
right?
with Vince Morales with the decision. How about you?
I yeah, you know what? I'll go decision as well. I'm actually like thinking that Morales gonna win, so we are tied right now.
Mm-hmm. All right. All right. Now for the next one, this is like a personal sleeper fight for me because Louis Smolka, the Last Samurai. I like his personality, and I do like what he brings to the table, and he looks like he can definitely bring it to him. Bring a lot of swagger and a lot of heart to the fight, especially with half and half of his wins going by TKO and uh, by knockout or TKO and with the submission victories. And he'll be trying to get one over against Casey Kenny. Casey Kenny is not something to sneeze at it either because uh, although the majority of his wins are by decision, I think he'll have a more, I guess, all around game. Yeah, just so that he'll be able to, I guess, squeeze out the decision. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, okay, so I like Smoke like exactly what you just said in
Mm-hmm.
terms of his personality. I love the heart in any fighter when I see it, in the octagon. Now they're not. It's not like Smoka has way more experience than Casey Kenny. I mean, you're talking about just a few more fights than him, but he has faced more people. Just like I said with Chris Gutierrez, but like obviously I didn't say that he was gonna win. Casey Kenny, that's the reason why I wouldn't sleep on him. I actually think he's gonna win against Smoka. Like the man only lost 2 times, right? So he has to be doing something right.
Right.
And I mean, Smoke, I love seeing him in the ring, right? So it's a toss up for me because I like Smoker's personality, but Casey Kenny, in terms of like we gotta think about, is not just we're not just talking about how great we think these fighters are personally. We're thinking about their skill set and what they're gonna bring to the table against their opponent, right? So
Mm-hmm.
for that reason, I'm gonna say Casey Kenny. I mean, like, just I don't know. I think he's on a roll right now. I think
Interesting.
in bantamweight, bantamweight. I think that he's gonna go far. I mean, like with Smoka's probably right now his
Mm-hmm.
biggest competition.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So yeah, I'll go with Smoko on this one.
All right, we are not tied anymore.
Mm-hmm. All right, now for the next one, Brock Weaver versus Roosevelt Roberts. Yeah, I become intrigued with Brock Weaver just because he's just all around different from the Contender series and from the Contender opponents we had so far. It was a shame that his debut fight into the UFC ended the way it did, like from DQ in the first round. You never want that to happen, but I think he'll try to redeem that and try to make people forget about that with a win. Now for Roosevelt Roberts, yeah, he is a 9-1 record. He's gonna have his hands full with Brock Weaver,
so,
But I want to know
right.
what you think.
So I think that you might have skipped because I think with the prelim card the next.
So he looks like he's. Let's see, is he making his debut? Let me look at this.
Yeah, I believe he's from LFA. I believe this, if I'm not mistaken.
So he'll be making his professional debut. But if he has a LFA record, I think that's pretty professional, isn't it?
Oh
Yeah,
yeah, no,
he's a 10. Yeah, he's a
good.
10-4. Yes, he's 10-4. So yeah, he'll be making his UFC debut. So that'll be exciting, and he'll be going against a veteran in Tim Elliott, and he'll be going for a ranking. So that'll be interesting. Yeah, and it'll be interesting to see if he can shake up things in the flyweight division. Ever since Henry Cejudo retired, I mean Joseph Benavidez is the only one left, and even with him, there's Formiga maybe and Davison Figueroa maybe more than that, but there's not really a lot of like breakout stars. I mean, besides Demetrius Johnson, that can really bring up bring more attention to the flyweight division. So maybe there's something there that we can see. What do you think?
So okay, shout out to Brandon Royval because when I was actually tuning in to LFA, he was one of my favorites.
Mm-hmm.
So I just have to say that. I think he's really well rounded. I mean, obviously, you're making your debut against a veteran like Tim Elliott, right? You have like 15-10-1 in terms of his record.
Yeah.
And I think that it'd be a good test for him. Obviously, he was an LFA former champ, so he's no joke, when it comes to that. And if anybody does not know LFA, like they honestly are one of the best promotions in terms of finding prospects.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of them get signed by either the UFC, Bellator, whatever huge MMA promotion there is. So what do I think of it? Look, I always respect Tim Elliott.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think he's gonna win though.
I see what you mean.
I have to stick with Rival because I just know, like, I've seen him kind of like blossom into the fighter that I think he was gonna be. Like, obviously he was a former champion in LFA. Obviously, granted, the competition in the UFC is unmatched compared to LFA, but I think that he has tools. Mm-hmm. Especially if you guys ever seen him fight, like he's very well rounded and he's aggressive But Tim Elliott he has like quite the heart. He's very he perseveres and he's tough. So that's gonna be interesting for me. But I'm gonna have to go with my guy Brandon Royval.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think I'll go that way too. And especially they seem really confident in putting up with a ranker this early in his and especially for a UFC debut. So I think they have like a certain idea that he'll be a driving force in the division, or at least one of them.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Mm-hmm. All right, so with that, let's go to the next. Jamal Hill versus Clydeson Abreu. And this will be...
Oh, man.
Yeah, this will be in the light heavyweight division.
I am so excited.
Oh,
I am a Hill fan. Oh my gosh, ever since, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, he did come out of the Contender Series a while back, but honestly, his last fight, he just kind of mesmerized me,
Mm-hmm.
and it wasn't an easy fight at all, and so I was just really blown away. And he's 7-0 for a reason. He's undefeated for a
Mm-hmm.
reason. Obviously,
Right.
he's pretty much going up there like from his rankings and like trying to get to a main card fighter, just try to get fighters that are a little bit more ranked now. That's why I guess for me why I didn't understand why Brian Kelleher wanted to fight Sean O'Malley, and people saying that like Sean O'Malley hasn't faced anyone big. I'm like, that's the whole point. Neither has Jamal Hill. Like
Mm-hmm.
you know what I mean? Because
Mm-hmm.
they still have like a few fights before they actually reach someone who is just that big in terms of reputation and ranking. So Jamal Hill, man, like I'm excited for that fight. I think he will win against Abreu. Abreu's no joke too. He was 15-4, so he's pretty much a veteran compared to Jamal Hill. So
Yeah, yeah, that's definitely true. So yeah, this will be it'll just be a match against someone who's trying to make their name out there versus a veteran that's just trying to to keep things afloat and also trying to prevent someone from making a name on him. So yeah, this will be an interesting one. Yeah, with the submissions, yeah, you don't see a lot of submission people in the higher weight divisions. So I think this will be, yeah, as you said, this will be a test for him. Yeah, usually people that are just straight up knockup artists, especially if they're in the heavyweight division, they kind of fall apart and just become prone to getting submitted. So yeah, I'm interested to see how this matchup goes. So this is gonna be interesting, and it's usually the submission artists that get it. So I'll go with a brew.
okay, we are not. Well, we weren't tied, but anyways.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so we have two fights that we do not agree on, but
Mm-hmm.
that's why I like this. We're getting closer right now. We're getting closer to the fight that I really want to talk about in
Yep.
the
Yep.
previous fight. I'm sure you know which one it is, but we
Mm-hmm.
we can't bypass this other fight because
Oh yeah.
Daniel
Definitely not.
Rodriguez, Gabe Green, guys, 11-1, 9-2. This is a welterweight matchup that is, to me, is a dream, and like obviously both of them are on. They have this record that anybody could be like, okay, you are gonna move forward, to people that are very higher ranked,
Mm-hmm.
and to really get their name out there. Daniel Rodriguez, no joke. I like the both of them. I honestly can't choose. It's hard. I'm leaning towards Rodriguez though, for like my kind of like assessment of what he brings to the table. But Gabe Green is no joke again. So I don't want to say that. I don't want to say just because I like Daniel Rodriguez and his fighting style and it doesn't mean like I'm gonna just underestimate Gabe Green, because anything can happen in this fight. I really don't see one of them just really dominating the other. Maybe like if it happens, but
this is a pretty interesting fight because Gab Green has a 100% finishing rate. I mean, you don't see that often, and yeah, this will be an interesting one. I think the majority of Daniel Rodriguez's wins is by finish, but yeah, it'll be interesting to see someone go up against someone with 100% finish rate. What's going to happen? How are they going to clash? Yeah, this will be an interesting shakeup in the welterweight division. Ooh, I'm kind of torn.
That's what I mean. I don't know. Like I'm leaning towards Rodriguez, but I'm not gonna be surprised. Like you know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, and I like to see. Oh, and the majority of the wins that he had were in the first round, and he was able to get one win in the third round. Gabe Green, I'm talking about. By a technical submission, and Kambach. So that's interesting. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, I'll be interested to see how he handles the step up in competition in the UFC, and since he has experience.
Yeah, who do you think will win then?
That's the question.
Yeah.
I'll go with Gab Green on this one.
Okay, 3 fights that we don't agree on. No, I'm kidding.
Yep.
It's funner this way, honestly, guys.
Yeah. Now so we'll go to the next one.
This is it. Oh my God,
the Blonde Fighter versus La Pantera. I mean, honestly, this just makes me laugh. This honestly just makes me laugh. Like,
I know.
I mean, basically, if Antonina wins this one, what are they gonna do? Have the the sisters fight each other, I mean, she's basically
Exactly.
it's just gonna stand back the entire thing.
But that's the thing, because I didn't get it. I'm like, first of all, Caitlyn shook Hagen. I don't want to butcher names because I know I'm going to. She
Chukagian?
deserves more. She like literally deserves more respect. Because it's not like even though Valentina did win that fight against her, it's not like she didn't put up a fight either. She's tougher than most of Valentina's opponents, I guess, other than Nunes. But that's how I feel.
Chukagian has a really has a polished fighting stand up fighting. So I would like to see how it goes against Antonina. Yeah, it's not as like popping as Chukagian, because she does have like a tendency to the pop her jabs. Of Antonina, like it looks like she's just learning how to do it. With that said, she is improving her submission, so I think that's a good way to to switch things up. I think that's how Shevchenko got the win over the older sister got the win over Caitlyn. She was able to mix her grappling a bit and then get the sub. I mean, get the finishing a TKO. No.
Oh man, I don't know, because here's the thing. I do not underestimate Caitlyn Chukagian. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, so I apologize. But
Chukagian.
Chukagian, okay. Antonia is obviously, everybody that knows her knows that she's only had one loss.
Right.
And she is 8-1, and she's on that streak right now. And I just think, for me, I laugh at it too, only because I'm like, why is Chukagian on the goddamn prelims? It makes no sense to me, because you're saying that you fought the champion, and then you're going to go down to the 6th fight of the night compared to 12 or 14 of them.
That makes do what you got to do, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, obviously we can talk about the politics of it, as much as I respect Dana White for who he is, but things like this makes me kind of question, really, is it because she's not as, I don't know, popular in the market, and Antonia's getting up there anyways, and so that's what I think. I don't know. I personally I think Caitlyn is the better fighter in my opinion in terms of just being well rounded. But Antonia, obviously, she has the best training partner of all time, her sister, who is the champion, actually in that division. So that's gonna be funny. If she actually wins this fight. I don't think they're actually going to fight each other, because I think that some people, they don't want to fight their teammates, or they don't want to fight their siblings. In this case,
it'll be funny. It's just going to be sandbagging. It's the Shevchenkos versus everyone else. Yeah. I mean, unless Modafferi goes on a championship run. I mean, and I really like Modafferi. I mean, they underestimated her completely, especially with Macy Barber. I was pulling for her because I know her grappling was going to give Macy Barber trouble. Yeah, there's not really a lot of flyweight fighters that can match up to the Shevchenkos, at least not yet. I mean, I guess Dana White has to do more scouting in that regard.
No, for sure, especially in flyweight. The hell no, no one's touching Valentina, at least right now. So.
Yeah, so with that, I'll go with Antonina on this one.
4 fights that we don't agree on. Okay.
Really? Oh, you're going for Chukagian. All right.
So we didn't agree on, was it Smoka, that fight?
Yeah.
We didn't agree on, Rodriguez, that one. And then this one, I'm pretty sure, did you say Hill?
The same, say again?
Okay, maybe it's 3 fights. I can't remember. Because you said Hill, you said Royval, yeah, you also said, Morales for the featherweight fight, so. Alright, moving on to obviously the main card, which is actually not a bad main card, and I'm looking at it right now, I'm like, this is going to be something that, I think that people underestimate this card. It's not spectacular, I understand, especially... when you look at certain fights, but in this main card, there are literally all the fights there. I'm actually pretty excited about. So
right, yeah, I'm excited about it too. For this, it's gonna be interesting. Mackenzie Dern has a lot of hype behind her becoming like a jiu-jitsu ace, being the one who was able to submit Gabby Garcia, and then she was expected like to mow down the rest of the strawweight division, but it turns out it didn't go that way. So now that she's coming back from motherhood, she had her baby, and now she's coming back to train and dominate. Yeah, she's trying to start a streak going from her last fight against Rebus, and to see if
Yo,
she
man,
can, yeah, see if she can get
Rebus.
either a win or just a decision win.
Okay, Rebus, love her,
Mm-hmm.
love her to death. Like she is so dangerous. First of all, I have to say that because you know Mackenzie, like a lot of people, because they were pulling for Mackenzie Dern because obviously she was undefeated
Mm-hmm.
up to that point.
Yeah.
She has a lot more to, I guess, prove because she did. It's funny because like I make fun of like you know how I feel about people not making weight constantly, right? And like
Yeah. Yeah.
she
Yeah.
had those not only in the UFC but also in Invicta, she had problems consistently making weight. So it's funny that the one fight that she makes weight
Mm-hmm.
he actually loses. But it's obviously to someone who is, in my opinion, one of my favorites in terms of prospects and like, getting up there. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? Like with Amanda Ribas. So, Mackenzie Dern versus like here's the thing. Okay, Hannah Cyphers. No offense to you. Okay, you're from one of the places that I absolutely love to go and visit. However, like Mackenzie Dern is, in my opinion, more dangerous. Like Cyphers is tough though,
Mm-hmm.
but she's not. I don't think she's well rounded, but it's not like she's well rounded in the sense that she's well rounded and every single thing that she does is better than decent in terms of her skill level. That's not how I see her.
Mm-hmm.
I think that Mackenzie Dern's going to dominate for sure. She's probably going to try to strike her because, like, Cyphers is not really, in my opinion, an aggressive fighter. And if Dern capitalizes on that, happens and then she ends up taking her on the ground and submitting her, I wouldn't be surprised if the strawweight bout ends up in a submission for Mackenzie Dern.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think people are just looking over Hannah Cyphers, but she's able to accumulate a few wins, especially with decisions. Yeah, she's pretty well rounded. Now I just wonder how she's gonna, uh, take whatever new game that Mackenzie Dern's gonna play. Yeah, especially since she's really heavy on the stand up. With Mackenzie Dern, she'll try to provide something new. She even said that she was practicing like stand up defense, saying that not getting hit in the face was playing a factor in her camp. So
Yeah,
she
so
does expect some striking to go. Uh, and I wonder if she'll go down the grappler but can box and possibly finish fights with boxing. I mean, she kind of did with ABC Cooper, but I wonder if she'll just stay on that route or if she'll do like a mix of both grappling and fighting, like a Tony Ferguson would. So yeah,
oh, you bring up Tony and my heart just breaks again.
yeah, yeah.
No offense to Gaethje, he's obviously a stud. He's obviously a stud in the octagon, so I'm not saying that. Just I think that what I predicted would happen, like she will stand with Cyphers. She is the more aggressive fighter, in my opinion. Cyphers is more like she's kind of like in a way she counters a lot. She kind of waits for people to really like you know what I mean to make that first move, and I think that that's probably going to be her downfall. I
Mm-hmm.
think that Mackenzie Dern like she's going to stand up with her, and eventually she's going to grapple her or submit her. That's really my analysis. Maybe in the second round, like I know Mackenzie Dern is usually known for actually finishing people in the
Mm-hmm.
first round, so you never know because I just think that because like Cyphers would literally either have to be like her takedown defense would have to be amazing to like make the first move in order to win this fight, and I don't think she's going to. And if she does, then kudos to her. Like I told
Yeah.
you, she's from a place that I absolutely love to visit, and so it's we'll see what happens. But I'm honestly pulling for Dern, especially maybe round one, perhaps round two
Mm,
submission. Yeah.
right. Yeah, I'm gonna go Mackenzie Dern as well. Yeah, it's gonna be tough picking which round will be a finish if there is any. But yeah, I'll go for Mackenzie Dern as well. Uh, and yeah, I'll go for a finish in the second round.
All right, we'll see what happens.
Mm-hmm. All right. Now for the next fight, Roosevelt Roberts versus Brock Weaver, as I mistaked a little bit earlier. So I'm really interested in seeing Brock Weaver bring more of what bring more of what he has to offer. Yeah, it was an unfortunate disqualification, even though he won from it. I'm sure he didn't want his debut to be like that. So I want to see what else he. Well, not his debut. I think he came in. I think it's like it will be his. It was his second fight when he got DQ'd, I believe. So yeah, was it? Hold on. Oh no, yeah, it was his debut. Sorry, I was just
It was his debut. You're
yeah,
right.
yeah, yeah. Yeah. It's too late. Yeah, it's late. So yeah, I'll be seeing. Yeah, I'll be watching his fight closely because he'll be bringing it. He'll be trying to change people's minds about what happened last fight and actually perform his best. What do you think?
Okay, so I'm not gonna put my bias in here because I'm not really a fan of Brock Weaver personally, but in terms
Mm.
of fighting, he has a lot of heart. Have anyone has actually seen him compete in the Dana White Tuesday Night Contender series? Like he really brought it. Like he's honestly, uh, someone that I don't think is going to